Hello and welcome back to my channel, Mom, Wife, and Everyday Life. Today we are going to talk about decluttering toys. Let's jump right into it. Sometimes you have ones that are broken, ones your kids no longer play with, or maybe it's Christmas time and you're receiving a lot of new toys or even a birthday. Either way, it's time to declutter, so let's jump right into it. First, let's start off with broken toys. Broken toys can be a problem, especially things like ripped books, for example, or board games that have missing pieces that can no longer be played. Keeping these things around make them feel like breaking things is okay and not a big deal. I would not necessarily show them I'm throwing it away, because just say you have a 3-year-old and you're like, this book is ripped, it goes in the trash. It's sort of like teaching them that anything that's broken is just junk or it's easily replaced, that we have this infinite money and gift receiving ability. And it's not. Like, we need to take care of things and respect them and be kind to them. But also keeping that ripped book around does encourage more page ripping. I would discreetly get rid of broken or ripped things without your child necessarily knowing. That's just my take on it and how. Next, we're going to hit the abandoned or no longer played with toys. So obviously for children don't play with the toys, why are you storing them? They're taking up space, they're causing clutter, they don't need to be in your home. Now, a way to determine if your children are playing with toys or are not is to do some toy rotation. I've got other videos and articles about that where basically you're putting away a certain amount of toys and every so often you rotate them out and put others away. Sometimes this can spark creativity with toys or a new love of that toy. It allows your children time to miss some of their toys. So that's a great way to see if toys truly aren't going to get played with and are no longer of their interest. Next, let's talk about age appropriateness. So when it comes to toys, sometimes your kids outgrow them. But then here's the thing, if you have younger siblings, you're like, you may hold on to those toys thinking those younger siblings are going to enjoy them, and they may or they may not. You also need to look at those toys and say, did my first child enjoy this toy, and in what way did they even play with it? If it just wasn't a good toy, like not great quality and just didn't serve a good purpose, maybe let it go. Don't worry about your next kid. Or maybe your next kid does truly have different interests, and you can kind of start to see like they're not gravitating towards this type of toy. I think I'm safe to go ahead and get rid of it. Also, keeping younger toys can sometimes hold your older child back. If they keep playing with that same toy they love, maybe they're not gaining new interest or pushing themselves. For example, maybe a favorite board game that's very, very simple, one that's just, I don't know, something like Hi-Ho Cheerio. I played that with my child the other day and realized just how simple it is. There's no strategy. It's just a spinner and the cherries go in and the cherries go out. You could say it's a little bit of math with adding and subtracting, but overall there's no strategy involved. So that's one where once they outgrow it, I think it needs to go. I don't need to be playing that with my 10-year-old. We need to start getting onto more strategic games. Clean out things that are no longer age appropriate. If you have little toys in your house that are like rattles or like crinkle books for when they're infants, you don't need to have that when they're 3. Those things can move on and go to another home and be loved. And finally, involving your children. It's completely up to you if you want to involve your children in getting rid of toys or not. So as I mentioned before, the broken toys, I don't necessarily like them to be involved because I don't want them to see that things are garbage. But when it comes to good toys that are still in okay shape to move on to another family, do you want to talk with your child and say, hey, we're going to give this to another family. I think it's time to let it go. We need to make room for other toys in our home, or I think we've outgrown it. Do you want to have that conversation with your child? Do you think they can handle it? Are they emotionally able to work with you on that? Or is it going to be too difficult for them? You can handle this however you deem appropriate. I would recommend, though, if you want to get rid of, just say, a handful of their toys, and you're not going to tell them, potentially store those toys up in a closet for a while, see if they miss them. And if they don't miss them after months and months and months, you're probably safe to donate them at that point. But that's up to you on how you navigate and handle that with your children. So in general, I believe in decluttering toys. I don't think you should just keep piling them on. Birthdays and Christmases can amount to a lot of stuff in your home. And a well-kept space, I think, promotes better play. And I think we can teach our children a lot with the spaces we give them and provide to them. And I think we can encourage them to love and respect their toys, to clean up after themselves, and to manage their stuff and their property. So let's declutter and let's work with our children and see how we can continue to work with them in the future. Good luck in your toy decluttering. I hope it goes well for you and you end up with the results you're looking for. If you like content like this, please subscribe and check out some of my other videos. Thanks. Bye.